So it was my father who got to know about Bhagawan first. And eventually each one of us, that is our entire family, came inside the divine fold. And when we joined Swami's college, it was indeed a very, very great opportunity for us to experience Bhagavan at such close proximity, and his divine love, his physical presence. Drinking the nectarine love of Bhagavan was the best part of our life, I would say. And for me personally, Swami had been talking through my dreams, and especially during my stay in Anantapur, I had different types of dreams. In some of the dreams, Swami used to come and caution me. In some of the dreams, he used to tell me about my future. And in some dreams, it was like, like instructions, set of instructions. Just before I have to take my board exams in my 12th standard, I had severe pain in my neck and shoulders. So the time was very less to go for any treatment, and the truth was no treatment was also giving me a cure. Because allopathy said that there is nothing basically, and we will not be able to handle it. And even Ayurvedic treatment was not giving me relief. But it was at that moment when I had Swami in my dream. And it was a very, very special and a unique dream, I should say. Because in that dream, I was in the Anantapur hostel, which is built in Prasanthi Nilayam. Now, we have a hostel where Anantapur girls stay when they come to Prasanthi Nilayam. And when this dream came, that place was not yet built. So indirectly, Bhagavan has said that after my 12th, I will be joining his campus. So, but that time I didn't realize all that, because obviously I didn't know what that place was. But I was sitting in a line and Swami was coming. And then I was asking for Swami, Swami, I'm feeling this pain. I was pleading him literally. And Swami said, don't worry, everything will go. Your pain will vanish. He said like this. And then he placed his holy feet on my shoulders. It was a different sort of experience, I should say, because I didn't feel the physical pain. No, not at all. But it was a different level, and I felt extremely blessed and happy. And after that, yes, I could write my board exams well. And not just that, I scored very good marks also. And even before I could get the results, I had already joined Swami's Institute. So that was his blessing. This was a very, very important moment for me, because that was the first instance where I was receiving Swami's blessing. Not just that, in that dream he also specified, from now on, you're entering into my akarshan. That was a very powerful word, which the meaning of that word I didn't realize it then. But now I realize, yes, we are being pulled by his divine magnetic force. And that is very, very true. Once getting pulled, yes, we are not coming back again. The interest for physics is what has led me here. My physics teachers have been very inspirational, both in my school and my college. The full credit goes to my science and physics teachers. So it's because of them I could, take up my career in this line. And after joining, I should say, I got to know more about the space science, because before that, it was the interest for physics. And after getting to know about the space science, it was like the more I fall in love with it. It was indeed a very nice opportunity for me to learn multiple things. There were so many new things which we have to learn, and we enjoyed doing it. So this is about how I got into. And with my MSc post-graduation in physics, I had applied for the post. And there usually it will be an interview for the post-graduation students. And based on the interview, we'll be selected. So even now also they follow the same process. But most of now the priority goes to, we have ISRO Space Science and Technology Institute in Trivandrum. So which was funded by ISRO. So students from there directly enter into ISRO. So the more opportunity to enter ISRO is through IIST. So in the space missions, what we find more interesting is every mission is unique. Each mission has its own challenge. So let it be the Mars orbiter mission, where we had the challenge that we had to realize the satellite in a record time. The time was very limited because if we miss the time, we will miss Mars. Like if we have to reach the Mars within the time of that window, what we call. So we had to make the satellite before that. So that was one challenge. And of course, communication is one of the biggest challenge because we are going very far away from Earth. And even the power is also a challenging aspect. So that way, each satellite has its own challenges. In the case of Chandrayaan, landing was a challenge. And all the scientific instruments which are pertaining to lander which we have to assemble in the lander, and they all help for the accurate landing. So that was the most challenging aspect in Chandrayaan. So what we have seen is every mission is unique, and that challenge is what keeps our spirit high. So we are very happy to take the challenge and learn about it and upgrade ourselves and work in the mission accordingly. You all must be aware the father of space, Professor Vikram Sarabhai. It was in the late 1960s when the ISRO space program, the Indian space program, had its very, very humble beginning. When Dr. Vikram Sarabhai proposed that ISRO should have its own beginning, they asked, we are a poor country. No, hardly we have been 30 years, not even 30 years, it was less than 30 years from independence, and there is a lot more to go. Industries have to be developed. We are in that process. We are a developing country. Space business is very costly. How can we afford that? This question was put to him. And he said, we are not here to demonstrate our superpowers and neither as a competitors for the developed countries or the rich countries. We have to take the science and technology for the benefit of a common man. He was very clear in his vision. He said, by putting a satellite out in the space, if the country is going to develop, because we are improving the communication network of the country. So that is going to, in turn, develop the country to a much, much higher levels. So that is what we should look for. Now, every common man has a phone in his hand, and even for disaster management or connecting the remote villages, we do have the broadband networking. So all this will be supported by the satellites. So that was his vision, and I specifically feel that this long-distance vision of Professor Vikram Sarabhai is the backbone of Indian space. And slowly and steadily, we tried to cover the requirements of the country, and now we reached the moon. That is, we stretched our technology. We proved that we would be able to do the interplanetary missions like the Mars orbiter mission and also Chandrayaan missions. So that was our step-by-step approach, and I feel that's where the strength of India lies. So the space segment of ours, that is the space industry of India, is completely self-sufficient. That is, we have the launch vehicle technology also, and we also have the satellite technology. So we are not dependent on other countries for either launching our satellites or to build a bigger satellite. So we have built both the capacities within our country. And we have various type of satellites. Some of you might be already aware. We have the remote sensing satellites, which help us in mapping, land mapping, carto mapping, what we call. And we also have the navigation satellites, which are coming up. We do have the communication satellites, which help in connecting the points, like connecting the entire country, which in turn, the entire aim is to connect the villages, which will help in educare and also Medicare. So all these are the primary mottos of our satellite. So coming to the speciality of Indian missions, so as I already said, what I feel is the most important aspect is the vision which we had. We had a very clear and very strong vision, which was laying the foundation. And as we started progressing and growing, so what we take more importance, or what we find is each of our missions are more closely towards self-reliant of our own manpower and the resources what we have. You all must be aware that our missions are highly cost effective because we are able to achieve that pooling the resources what is within us. To just say one example, Chandrayaan mission, when it was conceived, the management had a lot of confidence in the young minds. So the young scientists were given the chance to work in Chandrayaan-2 mission. So that was going a long way through. We had put in all our efforts and it was a developing mission, and it took a lot of time, ideally speaking close to 7 years. And when we finally realized we did have some, you all know there was a difficulty in landing. And at that moment, it was Prime Minister who had come to our tracking center, and we were feeling little quite upset because we could not make the complete success in landing aspect. Even though all other operations were successful, the landing aspect was slightly missed. And as we were not able to carry ourselves in front of Prime Minister, but he just looked at each one of us and he said, "You are the people who have brought lot of success to the country. You are the people who made the Mars Orbiter mission a grand success. I have confidence with you. I am sure you will be able to make this also a success." He just said this, looking at each one of us, and that in fact changed the scene. After Chandrayaan-2, before Chandrayaan-3, so we had to work, identify the places where it was missed, and we had to reiterate things, plan out more tests. So that there was some self-driven motivation. And slowly and steadily, the Chandrayaan-3 mission was completely done, finished with all its tests, and we were ready to launch. So before the launch, each and every scientist were praying, literally, that all the efforts should take fruit and we should be able to land successfully. This was the prayer in the hearts of all the scientists who had been working in that. And we were literally more than happy, in ecstasy, I should say, when we could achieve that feat. Our organization has a very, very unique work culture, which has been laid down by our pioneers, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Abdul Kalam ji. So they all have showed us what is called as dedication and hard work. And we are also very happy because what is expected from a space scientist is to work directly with nature. And we need to be highly precise in our calculations and very perfect in our simulations. Even a small error cannot be tolerated in space. And we do work with multiple redundancy, what we call, no single point failure. And always we have contingency plans. So all these aspects are also life lessons which the space has taught us, the space scientists. In ISRO, there is absolutely gender equality. So all of us, do our contribution. And what is more important is the passion, the interest to work. I feel it's really a myth that STEM, that is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is meant only for men, or men can only excel in that. Women are not capable of, contributing in the STEM, is entirely a myth. So in ISRO, we work, hand in hand. We in every team has both men and women. So we share the shifts equally. And it's all about, it's all about our dedication and hard work. That's what is more important. And of course, our knowledge. We should have the strong knowledge, which is going to be the biggest, requirement to work in field like ISRO or in any scientific field for that matter. So moment you have the knowledge and you are ready to work, yes, you're a man or a woman, that absolutely doesn't matter. And especially in India, we have, lot of knowledge. We do have the youth or the children who are highly capable. I have been to various schools talking with children. So what I have seen is there is a lot of bright minds, especially in our country. So what is required is the right exposure and the awareness that they all can, if they have the right passion, they can contribute in this field very well. There is no need for them to, make a sacrifice and go for some other field. They have to choose. They have to be in sync with their interest, and they have to choose the right field. So in that process, being aware of the various opportunities is very, very important. So we do have various research institutes in India in various fields, and we should have the, conviction to choose our career in the right way. So as you all know, once we launch the satellite, we will not be able to go to space to repair if there is anything needed, right? So that is the reason why we have to ensure that at all levels, what we call as component level, subsystem level, or the system level, the things should work perfectly. So to ensure this, rigorous tests are part and parcel of the life of a space scientist. So we have to make sure that the satellite undergoes lots of tests, especially what we call as temperature cycling, thermal shock tests, vibration tests. And only then, when the satellite is up over there in the orbit, it will be healthy, hale and healthy, and it will be able to do its duty perfectly. So I used to get reminded of what Swami says, that you have to go through the ups and downs of life so many times, so well, such that the refinement occurs within you, and finally you will be a Bangaru, in Swami's words. Right? Exactly in the same way, satellite also has to undergo that rigorous testing process, and then once it is in orbit, it will do the duty what it is supposed to. That is connecting the different places with its payload and performing the experiments with the scientific instruments. And personally, for me, Swami used to come in my dreams when I was a student there. And it was different types of dreams where Swami used to give me a set of instructions and used to tell me about my future. And of course, he made it a point that all dreams and all the instances I will not remember, but certain aspects I used to remember. So all that made a lot of relevance later in the life. When life was throwing me different challenges, it was then Swami's guidance, teachings, and his whatever he had told me, they were all becoming more and more relevant. So that was the love of Bhagawan. So once Swami, in the dream, he was showing me the newspaper, and he said, you apply for this advertisement. He was very specifically telling you, he showed one ad and he was telling that. So next day morning, when I opened the paper, I saw that advertisement. And that was suitable for my profile also. It was a research post from one of the famous research institute in India. So I was very eagerly applying for it. But to my, utter surprise, I didn't get any call from them. There was no correspondence at all. And I was wondering, how can Swami be wrong? He was the person who told me, he had guided me like to apply for this advertisement very specifically. But still, I didn't get any call. So this thought was there in my mind. But nevertheless, this dream was very much, I always remembered that Swami has told me to apply for this post. After that, some years later, I got into ISRO through the interview. And as I entered into my particular division, I got to know that ISRO is having a collaborative project with that particular research institute. So I was wondering what on the earth is the connection. But after certain years, after some of my promotions, it just happened that they started recommending my name for that particular collaborative project. It was a sweet surprise for me, and I didn't take even a moment to think. I said, yes, definitely I will take it up. And sooner I had to contribute more in that project, and that in turn really helped me for my career growth. It was later I understood this is what Bhagawan meant. He had been preparing my mind all the while for the research which is happening in that particular institute. And that preparation had helped me to take it up without any hesitation. People were wondering, like, how is that this project is at a much higher level and her expertise is not to that level, but still she's taking up with a lot of confidence. And who had given me that confidence? Obviously, it's Bhagwan. In the year 2008, I was having the appointment order to join ISRO in my hand. It was at that time, all of a sudden, I got affected by a very, very rare disease. It's called as Guillain-Barré syndrome, where both my limbs had lost its strength from 100% to somewhere to 10%. Though I could I had the feelings or the sensation, but the motor nerves were totally not functional, which means I cannot move them on my own. It just happened all of a sudden because when I went to the bed the previous day and night, I was perfectly okay. Next day morning when I got up, I could not walk. There were absolutely no big reasons behind this. It's a rare syndrome which affects 1 in 2 lakh. That's what the doctors say. It is a recoverable one, but only thing is it will take a lot of time to recover. And we have to put the muscles and the nerves to work. That is, we have to repeatedly do the exercises and the therapist, whatever the therapist's guide. And it's going to be a very painful process because the nerves had lost its power. So doctors never told me how much time it's going to take, but they only said you will recover. And I should definitely agree that it was 2 souls which has actually saved me. One is my husband, who took me to the hospital at the right time, because if not for that, it would have spread even to my lungs. Then it is like irreversible. It's not possible to save me. The life would have gone. And second is my doctor, who repeatedly said, you will become okay. There is absolutely no medicine for this. The body has to rebuild its capacity, what has been lost. So with the appointment order in my hand, so there are a lot of questions and dilemmas. Yes, whether should I go ahead and take up the job or should I have to succumb to the disease, because this is going to be highly challenging. I became dependent on others for my basic needs. So what is that I'm going to do? I feel that is where, Swami's grace, blessings, and the faith which he had planted deep into us comes into picture. I took it up as a challenge. I said, definitely I'm going to join. Let me see. I will fight. And truth is, my friends, relatives, my family, everyone were with me. They helped me a lot. I kept on praying to Bhagawan to give me the strength, and I kept on doing what I am supposed to do. So with all this, yes, government also gave me some time. Like, for example, they gave me 6 months time because I have to prove myself that I am medically fit. And what I have to do, I have to keep on doing my exercises. So I kept doing it. And I came to a stage where I think at least I could handle myself and I could walk. So I joined. Because my husband was also posted in Bangalore, they gave me the post in Bangalore itself. That became an added advantage. And in fact, that is government rule also. So having joined, and I was able to walk, but it's not that. Beyond that also, there were a lot of things because my strength was very, very less. So I had to manage once again, just like how any woman has to do, work balance. You have to manage your profession and your kids. I had 2 small kids that time. And apart from this, my health was throwing a biggest challenge on me. But somehow I never gave up. Every day it used to be painful. But I kept on telling what Swami has told, there is no pain, no gain. Okay, let me try to handle it. Every day, at least small measures, I'm able to handle this pain so that one day I will be able to overcome it. That was the way I took it. And indeed, it happened. Almost it's been 16 years. And for close to 8 to 9 years, yes, I was challenging. I was battling against these odds. And towards the end of it, I joined a dance program where it is a classical dance, because I have to swim against water if I have to overcome this challenge. So when we are very clear in what we have to do, the universe helps us. I got a very perfect guru for a classical dance teaching, and she was so good that she said she knows all my inabilities, but still she said, "You have interest, come, I'll take you." And she was so patiently teaching me step by step, like I will not be in par with others for very obvious reasons, but still she had been teaching me, and I just followed it, whatever she said. And she made it a point that I do my performances. I could do my Arangetram, which Arangetram is like the performance which any classical dancer at the completion of all her, the courses, what we call all the different levels of studies, what we do. At the end, we have to perform and show that all types we are able to dance. So she made me do that in the holy presence of Guruvayur temple. Again, Lord Krishna was there. So with his blessings, yes, and our Sai Krishna's blessings, yes, I could do it. And it gave me a lot of confidence. And then I realized like how much of strength I could gain because of this. It was indeed like a regeneration. And Bhagawan had been throughout. And I feel because we have experienced the divine presence of Bhagawan, I could connect with Swami through my dance. And at every moment, I used to feel as we sing the name of the Lord, I was getting connected deep within. I could feel his presence when I used to keep the Abhinayam for the God. It was during Corona time, and we got an opportunity to do a seva in which we have to cook food for the Corona patients. So me and my husband, we both planned it, and somewhere we were like happily doing this seva because we can do it at our home during that strict lockdown. So, and Swiggy also had its part of seva. It had helped us, like it has agreed for transferring or the sending the food packets to the patient's house. So with this completely set up, it's run by Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization. The Bangalore East District had taken this up. So we registered our names for to prepare the food, and we were doing it. On one particular day, I had to send the food for the diabetic patient. So somewhere I was putting some special prayers to Bhagawan. Every day as we prepare the food, we will offer it to Bhagawan. We will also offer our prayers that the patient should become, he should recover. And then we used to send the packets. So this particular day, like apart from the usual menu, I was preparing something additional, and I was praying to Bhagawan, Swami, please accept this additional, effort. I just wanted to make sure that because he's a diabetic patient and who is also affected by corona, he has to recover fast. So I was just making some additional curries for him. So I am seeing you as at the end of this, that is who will be receiving the food. Swami, please accept my humble offering. So I was, with this prayer, we had sent it. And after some days, Swami came in my dream, and he was extremely happy. And the way he came, he was wearing nice sunglasses, and he came to our house. That is not the present house, the house where we used to live during our childhood days. He came there. He sat in front of our house because there was a huge crowd. And so they had made an arrangement for Bhagawan, and Swami sat there. And then in a hurry, I was preparing something for him. I made a milkshake for him, and then I offered it to him. Because Swami has come to our house, it's my duty. And then he took it from my hands, and then he asked, what did you add in this? With such a mischievous smile. I had actually made that special curry was made of beetroot. So here also in my mind, I was making the beetroot carrot milkshake. So I said, Swami, I had put, carrot, apple, beetroot, all that fruits in this milkshake. Beetroot, he mentioned that. And then he happily drank it, and the dream got over. So then I realized after I got up, that particular curry which I was asking Swami to accept repeatedly was beetroot curry. And here he wanted to mention and specify that he has accepted that. So that was the love of Bhagawan which I felt. The sincere prayer he has to answer. He doesn't have any other option. And he always be very happy whenever we offer a small seva also. Swami was extremely happy in the dream.